I am a whole bisexual YouTuber, and I don't talk about sex. I talk about intellectual side of stuff. I talk about our experiences, but I don't talk about sex. And I mean, like, yeah, boundaries are important. I do have boundaries. I don't kiss and tell, but at the same time, like, I just avoid that conversation. I avoid talking about sex. What up, what up? I'm back at it again with another video. So for today's video, I'm doing things a little different. I am going to be doing a product review of 2 adult toys that I got from the Honey Playbox. So first of all, I want to shout out Gabalexa, who is a brilliant writer and a person committed to talking about sexuality. She had me recently be on a panel for the Honey Playbox with other men, speaking about sexuality and speaking about adult toys. Because of my participation in that, I was gifted these toys, and I wanted to also have a conversation about this stuff myself. So I thought, why not do a product review and do some unpacking of adult toys and also like masculinity, and you know the deal. You know how I always do on this channel. So these are what came for me. I got the Taboo 3D Masturbator Cup, which is this, and I got the Kingsley Vibrating Anal Toy, which is in here. So first, I want to talk about like how discreet this packaging was, and it came in like a FedEx overnight delivery system, and you couldn't tell what it was, you know. And so it's important for, you know, your business not to be out there, for the male person not to know automatically what you're getting, and then also if you live with other people like roommates or whatever, you don't want them to automatically know. And from the boxes that I just showed you, you can't tell what's in those things. They're black boxes. So my package also came with this little card, which is literally just a description of my order, but I like how it looks. It's so cute. I did want to bring some factual information to this. So there have been studies that have been done on men and people with penises who have used adult toys, specifically like sleeves, and the studies basically show that they really help with premature ejaculation and also delayed ejaculation. Because of the pandemic, a lot of people have not been able to have sex. A lot of people have been turning to masturbation, and when you go from masturbating all the time to like actually having sex with another person, sometimes it can be a very sort of like rocky, rough transition. So I think that sleeves and toys and things like that can sort of help with that transition. I'm gonna put these studies down in the description box below, and kind of for all of my videos, there's kind of always like a lot of information, like either articles or threads or whatever, in the description box below. And also, while we're on this topic, I cannot stress enough the importance of kegels. They help with things like premature ejaculation or having better orgasms, and it's something that you do every day. It takes less than a minute. Get your kegels on as well. I've spoken about this before in my Can Bisexual Men Be Bottoms video about how the male G-spot is in the anus, and that literally has nothing to do with sexuality, but I just thought I would repeat that again. As you can see, one of my toys is an anal toy, so I just kind of wanted to mention that this is going to be a video, and this is a channel where I really tried to promote, what's the opposite of shame? Like pride? Kind of like pride, but like really just being comfortable with yourself. And I think that these things are so stigmatized and demonized when it comes to men, and queer men specifically, which I will get more into as the video goes on. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that in this beginning part to set the tone for the rest of the video. Let's unbox. So first, I'm going to be unboxing the Taboo 3D Masturbator Cup. Whoa. This is like heavy duty, like, I don't know. It's like big and like, I don't know. Alright, so this is like a quick how to use quick start guide. This is the Taboo. Whoa, it's literally like, it's a flashlight, but a flashlight. It's a flashlight. That's why they call it a flashlight, because like, okay, anyway. Whoa. This is what it is. This part looks a little like out, and the right side looks a little like pushed in, so you can like pull it out a little bit. This is crazy the way it feels. It feels so like, that's crazy. It kind of feels like a person. That's crazy. Whoa. Okay, anyway. All right. Okay, it's kind of like better, sort of better. All right, we gonna, I'm gonna put that's for later. That's for later. Alright, and this is going to be the Kingsley Vibrating Anal Toy. This is like It's very sleek. And so this is the toy. This is the remote that comes with it to control the speed and probably also the intensity. And then this is the cord to charge it. So that's what's in the box. So now that I've unboxed, let's unpack. Let's unpack some of my fears around adult toys. Let's unpack some of the stigma around being penetrated. I think one of the first sort of like apprehensions or fears that exists for me and probably other men or people is like, does having a sex toy or sex toys make me this like weirdo, pervert, freak? Why would I get toys when I can like have the real thing? Like, I've heard people say things like that all the time. And I think that that is a very sex negative way to look at sex toys. I think that there's a lot of like shame involved in that. And I think that thankfully over the years, like, I have grown to widen my understanding of sex and sexuality, and it not just being for the sole purpose of making a child. And I think that a lot of those ideas that demonize sex toys and sexuality really revolve on like, oh no, sex is made for a man and a woman trying to have a child, and it's this holy, sacred thing. I think for some people it can be those things, and I think that those people have always had their opinions dominant in culture and have always had their opinions and beliefs about sex and sexuality written into law and able to be widely consumed. The opposite is not true. Even with this video, I'm kind of worried to show the toys because I don't want this video to get taken down by YouTube. I don't want them to think that, you know, I'm showing nudity, or I don't know. That should show you, you know, something. Framing sex toys as like this perverse thing is inaccurate. There are studies, like I mentioned, but also masturbation a lot of times is about learning your body and learning what turns you on, what feels good to you. Sometimes you don't have access to other people, and also masturbation is very like intimate and like personal, and so it's like your chance to maybe imagine yourself having sex with a particular person or having sex in a particular way, and it's in like this controlled setting. You get to dictate when you start, when you stop, how fast you go, how slow you go. You're in complete control versus sex with another person. There's give and take, and you know, this has to happen, and you're considering your partner. But masturbation is all about you, and I think that to some degree masturbation can be very, very, very healthy. If you always have to watch porn in order to masturbate, you will have problems going down the line, just from like a biological standpoint. If every single time you masturbate you are watching porn, you're probably gonna have trouble when you try to have sex with another person. You're probably gonna need porn to be on. My point is that masturbation is something that you have to sort of be like intentional about like how often you do it, and make sure that it's not exactly the same way every single time. And I will put a lot of this information in the description box. Masturbation can be very healthy and is an integral part of having a healthy sex life, because you get to learn about yourself and your body and what you like, and then you get to teach a partner what your body likes and what you like. So it is a way of like being more intimate. As you can tell if you've been on this channel for a long time, I've had this channel for like 6 years, and I have avoided talking about sex like the plague. Even when you look at when I started doing Bisexual Men Speak videos, it was really only about a year ago, and even in my Bisexual Men Speak videos, I don't talk about sex at all. I do this thing where I intellectualize things, and that is like one of my coping mechanisms, and it's been that way since I was a kid. I think a lot of queer people can relate with this, especially feminine queer men, especially gender non-conforming people, especially masculine women. A lot of us have had to have these other coping strategies or other ways of getting praise and acceptance, these other ways of drawing attention away from the fact that we are so different or that we do stand out. And so yeah, like that has bled into the way I show up online. It's so challenging to talk about this because as early as I can remember, like 5, 6 years old, that's all people zero in and focus on about me. Like, oh my God, you're gay. Oh my God, like you're feminine. And so then you start to feel like, yeah, like that's all I am, but I don't want people to only see me as being bi or feminine. Like I'm a whole human being, you know, I want people to see the whole of me. And so in order for that to even be possible, that means I can't ever talk about my sexuality. And if I do, I have to do it in this hushed tone. If I talk about my attraction rejection to men and women. I have to do it in this hushed tone, and it's this thing, and like everybody's so uncomfortable. So it's so weird to talk about these things. It's hard to really verbalize, but like this is a huge reason why I didn't want to talk about sexuality on my YouTube channel, and is why I didn't start making bisexual men speak videos until about a year and a half ago, because I felt like that's all people saw me as, and I didn't want to only be seen as that, even though being bisexual is beautiful. But like, bro, like, I'm a whole person, and that's all people see you as when you're an LGBT person, LGBTQ+. It's very frustrating. I know what the statistics are for bisexual people in terms of like being sexually harassed and interpartner violence, all of that dark shit. Not just what the studies are. I know what it is to be out in the world as a bisexual man. I know what it's like to be groped by men and women who, when you tell them that you're bisexual, or when they find out that you're bisexual. I know what it is to get these DMs on these various platforms of people just sending me shit, sexual harassment, sexual advances, blah blah blah. Because people, when they hear bisexual, they think that that means that you want to sleep with everyone, and that you cannot consent to sex, and that you don't have any boundaries. So I know that through lived experience, through statistics. I know that already, and so it kind of creates this thing where I don't want to talk about my sexuality. So I literally, in a million years, I could never imagine myself making this video. I think that these things are important to talk about, and I don't know, child, like, I'm just like, let me make the video and unpack some of these things and talk about some of these things, and even critique myself, critique my channel. I am a whole bisexual YouTuber, and I don't talk about sex. I talk about intellectual side of stuff. I talk about our experiences, but I don't talk about sex. And I mean, like, yeah, boundaries are important. I do have boundaries. I don't kiss and tell, but at the same time, like, I just avoid that conversation. I avoid talking about sex, and I talk about attraction here and there, but I don't ever really go too far. So I'm just like, I guess I'm just like reflecting and processing these things. I also wanted to talk about some of my apprehension toward using the Kingsley anal vibrator toy. Personally, I have never had a pleasurable experience being penetrated, so in real life, I don't do it. I don't go there, like, at all. I have done a lot of the work to unpack, like, some of, you know, like, what could possibly be sort of like standing in the way. Like, is this internalized homophobia? Is this me thinking like, oh, in order to be a legitimate bisexual man, that means that I can't let people penetrate me. I can't let men penetrate me because I'll be emasculated, and women won't want me anymore, and I won't even like women anymore. You know, all of these thoughts that can sometimes come up for bisexual men. I did the work to address all of those thoughts, and I still just wasn't into it. And I was like, okay, I'm accepting that. I'm accepting that, you know, it's just not my thing, and that's okay too. But like, in terms of like anatomy, that is where science is telling me my G-spot is. So what is it? Why does this not feel good? Why has it never felt good? I don't understand. And then I started thinking like, well, is my body broken? Am I broken? Like, what is wrong with me? And like, I don't want to have those thoughts either, because that's not like a very nice way to think about your body, as like broken or defective, or like something's wrong with you. That's not a very kind way of viewing your body. I've kind of just trying to been like addressing those thoughts too. Like, this is your body, bro. Like, I love my body. My body has been so good to me. Like, this is my house, and I have to be good to my house. I have to be good to myself. I can't compare what maybe other guys feel in their body. Maybe that's just not what I feel, and like, that's okay. And like, my body is good. My body's good. Wow, I'm getting emotional. Oh my god. That's kind of where I am. I am apprehensive about the Kingsley, but you know, I'm gonna try to go into this with like a fresh mind and an open mind, and just try to really relax and just chill. Like, it's okay. It's no pressure. Not putting pressure on myself, and just like, bro, like, I got you, bro. I got you, you know? So yeah, those are kind of like my thoughts pre-using this stuff. And so I think this is kind of where the video has to end, because now I have to actually try the products before I can give you like my review of them. So I will start recording again tomorrow. All right. It's a brand new day. Okay, so now I've used the toys. What now? What are my thoughts? How did I like them? So first we'll start with the Taboo 3D. Yeah, so this feels really real. Like when it's like slapping against your body, it feels very real, and also like inside kind of feels very real, and it's cool. Like, whoa, this is like kind of crazy. It's wild. Yeah, I really, really like this, and I probably will be using this quite a lot, if I'm being honest. I would say maybe moving forward, like the next time, just make sure like I use a ton of lube, both on myself and also around the outer part and also inside. Just use tons and tons of lube. And maybe eventually like I will try soaking this in like hot water before I use it, because like that's kind of like one of the only things that's like a little different from like an actual person with like a vagina versus like this. It's kind of like the temperature. That's kind of like one of the main things that kind of like feels different. But this is very fucking cool. Feels amazing. Yes, gonna be using this. Now, onto the Kingsley. So this is really cool because it has 9 different vibrating styles. The first 3 are literally just like steady stream vibration, but just from like low, medium, and then high. And then after the third one, so from like 4 to 9, they're just different styles. It happens in like intervals or even like waves, some of the styles are. So I thought that was like really cool that they had like 9 different ones. I tried getting into all of them. The only one I could kind of get into was the first speed, which is like the lowest vibration amount, and it's literally just like a stream, like a steady vibration. To be honest, like for me personally, like I mentioned earlier, I guess like being penetrated for me is not best feeling for me. It just kind of makes me think that I just really need to take some time with this, maybe approach it in a different way than I do. I hear that some people, like when they have anus stimulation, they don't need to ejaculate, so it is just a different way of thinking about like receiving pleasure in my body. So I definitely think I need to use this more to have a more enjoyable experience with this and to really learn my body and learn what does feel good to me, because I was still very apprehensive using this, and I tried my hardest to relax. I tried putting on music, I tried lighting candles, I tried to like be romantic with myself and just like really just kind of like relax, and it wasn't really, I guess I have like an expectation for what it should feel like, or you know, all of these ideas and stuff, and so that can make it hard to like just literally just like try to enjoy what is happening. Also, if you're putting anything in your anus, you need to get like these bulbs. I will link all of this information below, and it will give you like a step-by-step tutorial. Yeah, like this, it doesn't look that big, but for me this felt like really big, and so I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, parts of it were a bit, I don't know if I would use the word painful, but it was certainly something that I really had to like be very gentle and take a lot of measured time with. It's not like how you see it in porn. Lots of lube on this and also on myself, and lots of stopping, taking it out, putting more lube on, putting it back in, stopping again, taking out, putting more lube on, putting it back in, and trying to relax. Maybe it's because all of these things were happening. Yeah, I guess it was hard for me to literally just be in my body and just like think about like pleasure and just relaxing. So I feel like I want to like crack the code of this. So I am going to try moving forward. Also with the taboo, I used it just off of my imagination and like the stimulation of the product, versus with the Kingsley, I had like porn on. So I'm not sure if this impacted my experience at all, but personally, when it comes to like using toys and also masturbating, I always do try to switch it up. Like, so if I'm masturbating every day or several times a day, I try not to always watch porn while I'm masturbating, because that can lead to issues when you are being intimate with someone else. It can also be a bit damaging to like your own self-esteem and your body, what you expect of yourself during sex. And so I don't know if me watching porn while using the Kingsley had any like negative impact on my experience with it too. So there are just all these factors. So I don't know, maybe next time I will try it like without using porn. And then also another thing about the Kingsley, it's a little loud. It was nighttime, so there was nothing else going on in my house, and I was like, oh shit, like this is kind of loud. Maybe I should turn this down so my roommate's don't hear. I'm glad it worked out that the first speed was like the one that I was using was like the softest, the quietest one. The other ones, like they were loud. I was like, this is kind of loud. Just to kind of talk through this a bit for any guys watching out there or masculine people watching out there, being penetrated doesn't have to mean anything. You don't have to give it all of these meanings. It's just what it is. Like, you know, you don't have to attach any shame to it. It doesn't have to mean you're less manly or you're less masculine or whatever that means anyway. It's really about pleasure and not about shame. It's about exploration of your body and exploration of your sexuality, trying different things on and what you like and what you don't like. Even if the Kingsley never becomes my thing, I am happy that I at least tried it. I also hear that a lot of like straight men in particular are not always crazy about things like vibrating anal toys or even like dildos and things like that. So I know a lot of straight men prefer to just use like butt plugs instead, so that it's not like simulating like a penis. Or yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that in case like some people watching this who are straight or just whatever feel weird about the shape of like dildos and things like that, give you another option. I wanted to thank y'all so much for watching my review of these sex toys, and if you wanted to help me out in any way, I will definitely put my Cash App and my Venmo information right down below in the description box. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.